We're going to work on making some hazards, specifically spikes. Let's make some triangles and get started. I don't think we actually have a triangle object down here. I thought we did though, but I guess not. So we're going to go to create and make a right triangle. There we go. And we have triangles. So these little guys will represent spikes. I kind of like the way they look right now. I might change them a little bit, make them either sharper. Cool. We're gonna make them be like a grayish tint. Hard to see. Like that. I like that color. And that could be one spike. We can make them in pairs of like 2 though, I guess, or 3. Although we should really just make it be 1 so you can be more, precise with it. So there's our spike. We're gonna give it a physics 2D polygon collider so we get a good accurate measure of if the player hit it or not. And we're gonna make it into either a trigger or a regular collider. We're gonna make it a regular collider though. We're gonna make a new script and we're gonna call it spike. So hazards. For starts, we need the player's original position when he gets into the game. So we're gonna call that a vector3 pp for player's position. That's what that is. We're gonna need, as far as I know, that's all we need. So from the start of the frame, we want to get our game object dot find game object with tag, and we're going to find our player. And that's the first thing we want to do. And then we're going to take his transform position and we're going to set that equal to pp. So now we know where he spawned in. And now we need to make our void on collision enter 2D collision 2D col, which is different from the trigger. The trigger would be collider 2D. This one's collision 2D. That's actually very important. It won't work if you don't make sure that works like that. So now we have to make it so when we touch it, if our collision 2D dot collide dot, if our col dot game object dot tag is equal to player, then we're going to take our player, so col dot game object dot tag, and we're going to set his dot position. Actually, we're going to take his game object dot position transform dot position, and we're going to set that equal to pp. And that's really all we need for the spike. So I'll show you exactly what this will do. We get into our game, our level, and we jump here, and we touch it, and oh my bad, we touch it, and now we're there. We died. That's pretty simple, I'd say. It serves its purpose for the tutorial. The spike's actually too small though. I'm gonna raise it back up to its normal height. I don't know why I adjusted that. I'm actually gonna make it its normal width too. I think that's perfect. You can add effects and stuff on the spike too. You can make it so when your player gets hit, he shoots blood out. I wouldn't know if that's advanced or not. I guess we could do that. But yeah, that's basically the hazard of it. And you can add all sorts of hazards and more than spikes. So let's make another one. Trying to think what type of hazards you see in a game. Also, our spikes, my bad. Make sure you make your spike into a prefab. Put it in our prefab folder. And now when we duplicate it, it'll be better. But we're going to make a folder called spikes. Empty. And we're going to put our spike in our spikes. And now whenever we put a spike down, like that, pretty cool. Level 1's looking pretty good. We're gonna need a shooter though, I'd say. In our game though, we currently can't damage people, But you can use this spike script on any sort of collider and it will actually work the same way. So any sort of animating thing and it will work the same way, and I'll give you a good example of this. Let's make a like a rotating knife or something, a rotating spike, or a wrecking ball per se. So we needed like a square and a circle. This we need an empty. We're gonna call it wrecking ball. Okay, so this is where it gets weird. You want to make your wrecking ball, take all this stuff out. We want to make the wrecking ball origin, because we're making a swinging object. It has to be with whatever you want the origin of this to be. Like the hinge joint up here, right? And now we need to make it our wrecking ball thing up here. Everything's inside of it, a wrecking ball. And now when we rotate this, we change our rotation, the whole thing will swing like a pendulum. That's the desired effect. I'm also maybe going to make this a little bit longer. Let me just see a good idea of how big that is. Yeah, it's going to have to be longer. At least down to there. So we'll make this be gray. Platforms. We're going to make this be layer 0 under platform. This will be like a chain. Maybe a little translucent. And now this will be on layer 1. Layer 1 in platforms, my bad. There you go. And this will be a darker gray color. Maybe we can add spikes to it too, just for the heck of it. Add some like little spikes coming. Your game, you can get as creative as you want. Make this thing look super deadly. There we go. I like that a lot. That random aspect. Each spike is like a very different size. There we go. And we have our wrecking ball. So we're going to take this circle in the wrecking ball. We actually put all these triangles inside of it. And we're going to take this circle part over here. And we're going to make it so we have circle collider. And we're going to make it just so that the spikes hit us, we die. Actually, we're going to make it a polygon collider. We want it to be... That's really precise polygon. You know what? We're going to make it be a circle collider. We're just going to make the circle be a little bit wider. A little bit easier. Like that. So if we hit the spikes, there's a little bit of leeway. But like for the most part, if you hit a spike, it will detect that you hit one. There we go. And that's our wrecking ball. For now, it's not going to swing, and we're going to drag it to our prefabs so we have it. But if we take our, right over here, where is it? Our circle, right? Circle up here, and we give it the spike script we just made. Our scripts, our spike script, it will actually serve as the same purpose now. When we get into the game, if we touch it, we will die consistently. Which is cool. But now we just need to make our wrecking ball start to swing. So we're gonna take our wrecking ball, and I guess we'll start it off at a 90-degree rotation. That. Yeah, a little bit less. Make it swing between like 70 degrees and 70 degrees. So we have our 70 degrees here. the ball will rotate through. So let's make an animation. Call it wrecking ball. Now we'll make it so after like 1 minute, the ball will swing through to 0. We weren't actually recording that. Make sure this recorder thing is on when you're doing this, otherwise it might not change. And you can adjust with the slider here if you want. Make sure it's working. Make that go to 0. That's pretty nice. And now we just gotta make it go through the 2 minutes. I'm gonna change these times because they're not gonna work that well to -70. And now back to there, and now back to there. And we'll take a look at it. So pretty cool. Might actually work. Not bad. We can adjust our curves too if you want to make it more smooth. Because right now we don't get that smooth thing at the end. It's just kind of linear at the end. So we're going to make it be free smooth. And see those curves there, those are actually the waves being repeated over and over again. We want to make that look as smooth as possible if you want to get a good effect. Now we have these nice smooth curves. It's going to look like it swings through, and it swings through, and it swings through, and so on. And we have a really nice wrecking ball now. So we're going to play the game, and if we get hit, we die. Otherwise, we can try and jump over it, and it's a cool hazard for our game. We can add a life system in too before you get like a game over type thing. But maybe we'll do that in the next one because we're at 11 minutes now. But these are basically just hazards. You can get as creative as you want using animation to make things move, and basically all there is to it. We're going to make one called wrecking balls. Center it out at 0. Put our wrecking ball in it. Also, I don't want this to be like right over here. I want this wrecking ball. We can make it actually start off at 0 because our animation will automatically place it there like that. So we're going to make this wrecking ball be maybe like over here. It's pretty cool. Let's do a quick playthrough, see if we can beat our level, which actually can be lost now. So you just run through your wrecking ball, do a wall jump. Oh man. It's not easy now. Oh man, you need a good running start there. I wonder if that's possible with the speeds I chose. It's not easy, it takes some getting used to because of the sliding and stuff. I had to adjust. There we go. Oh my god. Well, I'm bad, I guess. But you get the gist of it. So thanks for watching, and next time, I'm not sure what we're going to do, so just tune in next time, and we'll continue.